I would like to make a brief video. You know how brief is difficult for me, but I would like to make a brief video for the work that is coming up next week, the week of June 5th. I'm also going to open the week for June 12th for those people who are trying to get ahead. Let me start by saying it's so important that you get into the habit of logging into the course and reading what is in the announcements. The announcements are a good landing page because it lets you know issues that I have seen with student work, and also anything else that I feel is important for you to know. I make it a point when I post the announcement, I also have it sent to your Tunx's email. All right. Another spot that you should get into the habit of checking regularly is course content. When you click on this, you see the work for the next few weeks. So this was the first week. It's a little bit out of order right now. This is the current week. I have just moved the work for next week up into the top position, and I'm putting the work for chapter 5 and 6 a little bit below. So let's say you want to see what's coming up next week. Click on that, and you see the work specifically for chapter 4 is here. Let me just open this up. There are some exercises that would be good to do before you get into the topic of the self. Fascinating topic. There's the PowerPoint that I use when I do the lectures and videos. And if you click on lectures and videos, you'll see my lectures and then any videos that were mentioned in the textbook. As I've said before, I tend to do 3 or 4 videos per chapter. This one, let me check. No, I did 4. For the videos mentioned in the textbook or the lecture, this was the one that was mentioned. There's another Dove commercial, and this is just a spoof. I thought it was funny. You might disagree, so, that's fine. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go to chapter 4. So there are the exercises, the PowerPoint, the lectures, there's the quiz, and then there is supplemental material. When you are going to do the journal and you're thinking, I don't know what to write at all, if you open the supplemental material, it gives you, mostly these are articles. I tried to pick ones that were fairly short. Some of them might be videos. So you click on that, you read it, you say, oh, I like this topic. I would like to write a journal on it. Okay, so the same thing, exact same thing for chapter 7, PowerPoint, lecture, supplemental material, the quiz. Okay, so every time, let me go back one more. So when you open the folder for the week, you see the first chapter that we cover, the second chapter that we cover. Then you will see the discussion that we have. You will see the journal. And then there is, going forward, I believe it's every other week, you will see the part of the essay that needs to be done. If you click on the discussion, well, you see someone has already started, but what you would do is you would create a thread, and then here you see the descriptions. And it is very important because this one is different. I want you to have a back and forth discussion with one student. Actually, as you read the instructions, you're going to realize that it is 2. So you post something, a student responds to you, you go back and you respond to that student. You like a point that they brought up. You don't understand something that they said. You like an idea and you want to take it a little bit further. So you're going to do that with the person who posted on your thread, but you are also going to go in, you're going to read other students' work, you're going to post a response to them, They are going to respond to you. Good idea to go back in and look to see if there's something else that you would like to say to that student. I have put a couple of bullets that I would like you to do. Make sure you have a quote from the textbook. It's a good idea that helps the reader get situated. And remember, there are 3 authors. So it is not correct to say Adler, because poor Rosenfeld and Proctor, they're feeling kind of left out. So it is Adler et al. That it's Latin for and the others. And there is always a period after the word al. Okay. You're going to write about how this point applies to you. I always think it's a good idea at the end of your post to have a question. Sometimes when you read a student's post or a classmate's post, you think this was interesting, but I'm not really sure what I wanted to talk about. So if the original poster asks you a question, it gives you an idea of what you might say. Feel free not to write a question. Just realize that if you don't get good responses, it might be because the people reading your post weren't exactly sure what to say. So let me go back to the course content, and we're going to look at this one again. All right, so discussion, journal, essay. One more thing I wanted to say. I did a video about the essay. It's in last week's announcement. I will put up the link again. But if you go to assignment descriptions and sample assignments, and then if I have told you that you are having problems formatting your journal, watch this video. Right under the essay, there are the essay directions, the timeline. There is the rubric, both as a Word document and as a PDF. There is an overview of the essay. I know sometimes it can feel overwhelming, so I'm letting you know what students have done in the past, things that people have observed, experiments that people have done, and there are also a few of the final essays with my comments. I have to remember there are 2 more that I would like to upload, so you have plenty of ideas that you, if you're stuck, you have plenty of ideas that hopefully will generate ideas for you. I wanted to remind people that if you go into my grades, you can, this is me, so I haven't done a lot of work for the class, but you can see what's done. You can set it up with the due dates oldest first, or so you can see, oh, here's what's due on June 4th. This is due on Sunday. Oh, this is due on Sunday. Oh, a bunch of stuff that's due. So you should never fall behind. So if you have any questions about this this coming week's work, please post them in the general course questions. Chapter 7 is so important because it is the topic of the essay. So it's important that you understand what nonverbal communication is. It's important that you understand the 5 characteristics of nonverbal communication and the 6 functions of nonverbal communication, and that you also have a good idea what the types of nonverbal communication are, that you're not just thinking gestures or facial expressions. You're also thinking about time and clothing and distance and how we might use our voice. So again, if you have any questions about that, please put the questions in the discussion area that is for general questions about the course. Because if you have a question, I'm sure somebody else has that same question. I hope you're having a good week, and I look forward to reading what everyone posts.